Yep. At this point, I'm pretty convinced I'll never get out of this costume. Hi, I'm Anthonix Maximus, bitching to you about movies because I'm here to talk about Ghostbusters and eat some Thanksgiving turkey. And I'm all out of turkey before Thanksgiving. Yes, here I am in my Ghostbusters outfit because, well, it wasn't enough that I was a Ghostbuster at Comic-Con. It wasn't enough that I was a Ghostbuster for Halloween. And it wasn't enough that I just reviewed the first Ghostbusters movie. And chances are I'm going to be wearing this Ghostbusters outfit when I get around to talking about Ghostbusters 2. But today I'm going to be talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters film. I just got back from watching Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I thought the film was a good movie. And it was seen by many, including our President of the United States, President Joe Biden. Yep, true to my word, I'm reviewing a Ghostbusters movie. And it being the week of Thanksgiving, it was either this or some other Thanksgiving movie. And honestly, there's not many good ones out there. And I do want to get through the Ghostbusters library, so my hands are tied. We had the first Ghostbusters in 1984. We had Ghostbusters 2 in 1989. And quite frankly, the reason why we hadn't gotten a Ghostbusters 3, aside from what was featured in The Critic,
New York is being destroyed by an 80-foot Ed Koch. How am I doing?
the numbers didn't turn out so great for Ghostbusters 2. So much so that Bill Murray wanted to step away from the project. And with Bill Murray out of the way, Dan Aykroyd figured, well, there's no point in making another Ghostbusters film without Bill, so it was shelved. And for the longest time, when it came to any kind of promotional items or even likeness of the action figures, Bill Murray was typically the holdout. And by that point, most of the other actors have moved on to other projects. However, in 2009, we did get something that was close to Ghostbusters 3. The Ghostbusters video game. This video game actually reunited all the Ghostbuster actors. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, no Rick Moranis, he had already retired by then, but everyone else lent their voice to the game. And it was a successful game. The game takes place, presumably after the first movie. They kind of ignore the fact that Ghostbusters 2 happened. And it seems to act as it's a sequel to just the first movie. And in the game, you're playing as an avatar of the new recruit for the Ghostbusters. Because of how successful it was, Dan Aykroyd kind of considered that to be the Ghostbusters 3. The big rumor online was that the Ghostbusters would actually take on the demons of hell. But it would be a new recruit of Ghostbusters. It would even include one of them being baby Oscar from the second movie grown up. And the Bill Murray Peter Venkman character was actually going to appear as a ghost guide. And sadly, Sony tried to remove Ivan Reitman out of the seat as director. Even more sadly, in 2014, Harold Ramis passed away. And because of Bill Murray's reluctance with this film, they decided to do a reboot with a whole new cast. So Dan Aykroyd really did not want to be a huge part of this project anymore. That didn't stop Sony, though, from continuing to make a new film. And at the time, the chairperson running Sony was Amy Pascal. You know, the same Amy Pascal that allowed for her emails to get hacked, revealing a lot of scripts and revealing a lot of racist Obama jokes. Yeah, that Amy Pascal. She stuck around as producer, and she actually did get Ivan Reitman to be an executive producer. Now, in Hollywood, executive producer can be a very loose title. It could be someone who is heavily involved, or it could just be someone that gave some ideas. And Amy Pascal decided to hire Paul Feig as the director. Paul Feig, you may have seen his work from Bridesmaids and also episodes of The Office and many other projects. This time around, he wanted an all-female cast for Ghostbusters. He wanted to tell a story you haven't seen before, or tell a story you have seen but told in a different way. And because of his working past with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, he decided to cast them as two of the leading roles. And let's face it, if you've been on Saturday Night Live, you have your foot in the door for many projects. So I imagine because Kristen Wiig was already in the film, it helped her get Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones in as well. That's just a personal assumption, but let's face it, if a film has one SNL member, it's going to have many more. Now, the funny thing is, if you actually look online, you might actually see a series called Cinema Review. Sorry, I just ate. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. He kind of looks like me, but fatter and more awkward. Notice that his first review was the Ghostbusters 2016. And oh my god, did he kiss that movie's ass. I mean, I guess if he was around to tell you, I would imagine he would say at the time he just wanted to get certain reviews out there where he talked about the movies as himself. He's not a character, just himself. Anthony J. Smith is his name, not me. His name is Anthony J. Smith. And he just wanted to fill up space on YouTube. But the problem is, what I imagine he discovered is that it's hard to see a movie and just go blabbing on about it without giving it enough time to process. That's why I myself wouldn't talk about a movie right after seeing it. I'll give like a vague description just like I did for the new one that just came out, but I still have yet to process that film. And I imagine that's why this guy, not me, this guy stopped doing those, because he would just go on and on with his ums and long gaps in between sentences, just talking about whatever, and it just seemed like he was just describing the movie and not really giving a real thought because he wasn't processing it. But problem with YouTube is, well, people are so hungry for information, it almost forced him to put the videos out there without giving it proper thought, and it just became more of a chore. So that is why he stopped doing that. I don't know who that guy is. He's not me. I would not embarrass myself like this guy. Yeah, seriously, he really kissed that movie's ass. Maybe his head was up his own ass while trying to be some kind of social justice warrior or something. But, yeah, the good people of Rotten Tomatoes says this is a certified fresh film. Let's see if those tomato heads are right. And forewarning, I am going to have to be the type of reviewer that compares this to the original. If they want to take the Ghostbusters name, they're going to have to expect to be held to a certain standard.
Only 19th century home in New York City preserved both inside and out.
Okay, so instead of opening up on a New York public library, it opens up on a mansion tour. And look, it's an actor from The Office, of course. Thanks, Paul Feig.
That's right. No one has opened this door since then.
Oh, a candle fell. That's pretty spooky, huh? Little spooky for you guys. Okay, see, that ruins it. That ruins the suspense. It's some kind of technology. Oh, that wasn't a ghost. That was also some kind of remote control candlestick. He didn't need to play with that. He just did that for the audience. And this has always been a problem I have with newer movies, is that they almost do away with any kind of suspense or any kind of subtlety just so they can show off some kind of CGI advancements. Remember, when Dan Aykroyd wrote the original Ghostbusters, his whole idea was to make it a horror film before comedy. But this film seems to flip the script on that one. We're already seeing too much of the apparitions, where in the original, you don't know what's attacking the lady yet. See, and look at that. Even when they show the logo, it's not like the original one where the screens turn into the Ghostbusters No Ghost logo and title. Here, it just cuts away and then shows the title. Very underwhelming. And here is Erin Gilbert, played by Kristen Wiig. She is about to start her teaching in a huge new classroom when she's approached by Ed Begley Jr.
You're Erin Gilbert, right? Co-author of Ghosts from Our Past, both literally and figuratively.
And we learn about Erin Gilbert's involvement with the paranormal through a book that haunts her from her past. She wrote a book once with Abby Yates, played by Melissa McCarthy, and it seems that Melissa McCarthy released the book behind Erin's back.
I'm the historian at the Aldrich Mansion, and I believe it's haunted.
Oh, hi.
You're set for the final review of your tenure case on Thursday.
Oh, cool! It's Charles Dance! Okay, you might know him as a character from Game of Thrones. Me, I know him as the bad guy from The Golden Child, or the bad guy from Last Action Hero. Not that it matters, because he's only here to discuss the idea of her becoming tenure.
Never mind.
Aw, it's a bust of Harold Ramis. Now I can't be mad at this movie. Oh, I'll be mad at it anyway. And knowing now that a book she co-wrote is being sold behind her back, Erin goes to confront Abby Yates at her school.
Probably the future you're looking at.
And yes, I know that book is probably gonna interfere with you getting tenure, but hey, look, there's this joke.
You look like a crazy person.
God, are you kidding me? What? I got one wonton.
Did you like that wonton joke? Because it's gonna keep going for this whole entire film. Buckle in! And we have Kate McKinnon as Jillian Holtzman. Now, it was written in a script that Holtzman and Yates were actually a couple, which explains the protective arm around her, but, well, 2016 wasn't quite progressive yet. So we just had to cut out the dialogue and just assume they're really good friends. Just like when you have that relative come over with his roommate. Okay, I joke, but I actually do like Holtzman. Look at her!
Really close.
She just looks totally unhinged.
Reviewing these tapes.
Oh, they got a cool machine. Let's check it out. A fart joke.
It's disgusting.
Is it more or less disgusting if I tell you it came from the front?
Excuse me. Let's continue. Oh, and now this is where the first three Ghostbusters go investigate the very first ghost. Just like in the original movie.
Hi, we're looking for Ed Mulgrave.
Ed Mulgrave died 15 years ago.
Oh, okay, that's a little spooky.
So who is this?
But that's Ed's son, Ed Jr.
This is why I'm convinced that they casted the actors before actually writing the script. Because, well, the actor's name is Ed Begley Jr., and they fit in a line of Ed Jr. Okay, who is this serving? Whose purpose is this for? Oh, and also, I have one other question. The other question is, what the hell happened? No. Last we see him, he's hanging for his life, and now, without an explanation, he's fine? Like, seriously, movie, for f***'s sake. Alright, this is gonna sound like a crazy idea, but did you know you can actually write a comedy and also have a coherent script? I know, it's weird!
Barrett here saw it on Tuesday, and I believe it made him soil himself.
Jesus.
Can't write a coherent script to explain how he's alive, but who needs coherent writing when you can have shit humor?
Checking the settings, we look good.
You really want to hammer into our heads that this is a reboot with an all-female cast of Ghostbusters. So much so that their PKE meter happens to look like something from a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. Subtle! And there she is, stepping into some slime. Oh, I already made a Ninja Turtles joke in the last review. And I'll do it here. She's gonna become a Ninja Turtle. Yeah, the joke didn't work the first time and it doesn't work this time. Sorry.
I think she wants to communicate with us.
In the first movie, they snuck up on the librarian. She turned into a ghoulish ghoul. And here, this ghoulish ghoul did more than scare them. The ghoulish ghoul vomited. Way to up it up. And now she decided after throwing up, she would leave. Okay.
Ghosts are real! Ghosts are real! I believe in ghosts because I just saw one. They're real!
Basically, this is where Erin gets denied her tenure and is fired. But here's the problem. The problem is they recorded the ghost, but all they bothered to do was upload the part of the video where it shows her covered in slime and them chanting that I believe in ghosts. And now we have Yates and Holtzman taking Gilbert to get more funding at their school. This is a scenario where they cast the actors before writing the script because the dean is played by Steve Higgins at a school named after Higgins.
I think it might be a ghost. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a bird. Bye. There's the door. Later days. Can you hear this?
It's not exactly like the original Ghostbuster films were written by Shakespeare, but my God, the writing behind this film is so juvenile. We get to watch a full scene of Steve Higgins improvising. Okay, one thing that's a positive that separates this from the other Ghostbusters movie, at least they get to keep the equipment after getting fired. And here is Patty Tolan, played by Leslie Jones.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Got Metro. Hey, that's a dope jacket, man. I got that jacket. You know what? It's a sweater. I made a mistake.
I miss her on Saturday Night Live. She was one of the best, but it just... I feel like this movie was not written by someone who's ever lived in New York because I've never seen an MTA worker so jolly.
They'll always ignore you. They are walking sewage concerned only with their own trivial matters.
And that is the bad guy. Not Gozer in this one, who is an intimidating threat. This bad guy is Rowan North, played by Steve Casey, who is also a past Saturday Night Live writer. Yeah, a lot of nepotism here.
And the universe shall bend.
And this bad guy is a bad guy for the sake of, oh, people always pick on me, therefore the world must die. Kind of bad guy. And now he's making his way on the tracks, which leads to Tolan to follow him, where she discovers a device that's planted there, and she discovers Electro. They couldn't even just allow a little lead up, huh? They had to just pretty much throw in the fact that he's the bad guy, who works as a bellhop at a hotel. You know, I remember when people said Ghostbusters 2 was bad because, oh, the monster is a guy in a painting. I would take him as a villain anytime over this guy. And this is where the ladies decide to get themselves a new base of operations. Will it be the cool Ghostbusters Hook and Ladder Firehouse?
Go see your new home.
Pretty much in the original where Dan Aykroyd was childlike and sliding down the fire pole, their idea of fun is running around in a room. I'm sorry, you just gotta sell me better on your enjoyment. But since they can't afford the firehouse, they decide to rent the space above a Chinese restaurant. That way we can get more jokes of Yates bitching about the food.
How does it take you an hour to go up one flight of stairs?
I have really bad knees.
Dishwater and one shrimp.
In this film, we get to gender swap the secretary. Instead of Ann Potts as Janine, we're gonna get Chris Hemsworth.
Hey, I'm here about the receptionist job.
Chris Hemsworth plays Kevin. Sad thing is, in a film about female leads, he's actually the funny one. And I'm not saying this to sound like a sexist asshole. He actually is the funniest one. Probably because Chris Hemsworth isn't exactly known for his comedy, though he is funny in Thor. It's just the way he delivers his lines. It has that extra hint of sugar.
Are you seeing anyone right now?
See, it's okay because this time a woman is asking if the guy is single. All right, now I'm just being a cynical asshole. Let's continue.
I did the actor thing. Worked.
That's a little funny touch. I actually like that.
Can I ask why no glass?
Oh, yeah. They just kept getting dirty.
And now the joke's gonna get ruined because they're explaining the joke.
You okay if I bring my cat to work sometimes?
But I have a pretty severe cat allergy.
Oh, I don't have a cat. He's a dog. His name's my cat.
Okay, now I'm really convinced that they didn't even write a script at all. I think they actually had the bare bones script and just told the actors, you've done improv, you've been on SNL, just have at it, say whatever you feel like. And after filming, we'll play Zip Zap Zop.
Come on, man. Come on.
No. Let him. I'll take a visual.
Can't let him. This is my job.
And we have this remarkable scene with a graffiti artist. And look at him making faces as he's drawing and defying Tolan the whole time. Alright, see, this is what I'm talking about, and this is what I really have a problem with this film. Me bitching about this film, it's not the fact that it's a team of female Ghostbusters. That's neither here nor there in this case. I actually can accept a little bit of a change on this. My real problem I have with this film is that the comedy. As I mentioned, the original Ghostbusters was actually a horror comedy, not comedy horror. So the joy of the original Ghostbusters was that you had the 4 Ghostbusters, they're all funny, and their comedy is them bouncing off of each other, but also reacting to the stale world around them when there are no ghosts. It's kind of like a counter reaction. In this film, I swear, it's just like every actor they have in it has so much of a background in improv comedy that it's almost like they're trying to out-funny one another. Little background about me. I used to do improv for many years. On stage improv, I've performed at different places, from a dive bar to local competitions back in Colorado. And the idea of doing improv is, it's not about being funny, honestly. It's actually more about bouncing off of your co-star or the person you share the stage with. You may not always be the one delivering the zingers, but you learn to gift your fellow improv co-star the lines that make them funny. You use the comedy of improv to lift each other up. You're not supposed to use it as to outdo one another. Here, everyone is just trying to mug for the camera and just spew whatever funny thing that comes to their mind. That is my real problem with this film. It's not the gender swap, and it's not the fact that it's not the 1984 Ghostbusters. It's the fact that it's a very self-involved film.
Guys, I cannot do it by myself. This equipment is untested and highly unstable.
And that is how they got the logo for their Ghostbusters team. Thank you, Banksy wannabe.
This isn't working! Wow. Can this thing get any stronger?
And now they actually test their blasters.
Be reading this stuff. You're not supposed to listen to what crazy people write in the middle of the night online.
I feel like they put this scene in because they knew exactly how the internet would react to this new team of Ghostbusters. It's sad because, let's face it, fanboys can be a bit bigoted. I'm gonna say it. I mean, when it comes to comic books or any kind of nostalgia, you tell them you're gonna change something and they come out like ravenous wolves. This is the movie that actually put out a trailer and actually got the most downvotes in the history of YouTube.
It's just a lot of bits and pieces. I'm pretty sure none of it is supposed to be in the subway, though.
It's like it was part of a miniature cyclotron.
But they don't know it's Rowan yet, so shh. Were you waiting on the Ghostbusters Ecto-1? Because, haha, we get an Ecto-1, except for it's not an old-timey ambulance. No. This Ecto-1 is actually a hearse that Patty Tolan got from her uncle.
And you get a car! And you get a car!
Oprah reference. It was dated in 2016 and it's not funny now. And there's Melissa McCarthy flying around because a heavy-set person falling and hurting themselves equals comedy. I would never do that on my show. It is sad, though, because Melissa McCarthy is actually quite a brilliant actress. That movie is actually very good. With her, she doesn't always have to be physical. She can be funny without stooping to pratfalls. And because of that comedy, she got to work with Bill Murray. And because they worked together, Bill Murray personally suggested Melissa McCarthy to be in this film.
So, how did y'all get into ghosts? Did one of you see one?
I want to take a moment in this part of the film for this scene because it accomplishes something new that we hadn't seen before in the previous Ghostbuster films.
When I was 8 years old, the mean old lady that lived next door died. Woke up and she was standing at the foot of my bed, staring at me every night for almost a year.
I mean, yeah, I explained to you that Dan Aykroyd always had a fascination with the paranormal, and that's why he wrote Ghostbusters, but none of the characters really explained why they liked this kind of stuff.
And I told my parents, and they didn't believe me.
We actually get a real serious moment.
Abby was the only person who believed me.
That was nice. That was a nice scene. Okay, I have a question too, though. Why are you eating Papa John's, but your drinks are generic? Could it be because Papa John's has a certain soda provider that is in competition with your other sponsor? Like, we know Papa John's is your sponsor in this film, but you couldn't get the same sponsor from their soda provider, so that's why you're drinking from generic cups, right?
He's my best customer.
Day of reckoning will come.
Tell me, Dr. Heiss, is this for real? Hell no.
There's Bill Murray, but he's not playing Peter Venkman. No. He's playing a guy that's out to debunk the Ghostbusters. This is where the ladies actually get their first call. Or should I say, this is where the ladies answer the call. Are we gonna get that Ray Parker Ghostbusters theme? Hell no. We're gonna get... we're gonna get Fall Out Boy. I'm sorry, but unless you're gonna sing Sugar or Dance Dance, I really don't want to listen to you boys. This is kind of more of their parallel of facing their first ghost, just like how the original Ghostbusters faced Slimer. Oh, okay, so not only they want to remake Ghostbusters, but they want to remake Mannequin. This ghost, they had to do one up better than a blob like Slimer. Now this one, it has to be a friggin' dragon. Oh, and now Melissa McCarthy is crowd surfing to get to the ghost, you see.
Yeah, you sweaty freaks! I'm about to save you from this ghost!
Comment below what you think is gonna happen next in this classic joke. Classic.
Okay, so I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell.
Just why?
Sharon, I think I'm having another flashback.
No offense to Ozzy Osbourne himself, he's the man, but no one was talking about Ozzy in 2016, so his brief cameo is just kind of out of nowhere. They're celebrating their first ghost capture. And how do they do it? By dancing to DMX. You know what makes this really stupid? It was already done in Zack and Miri Make a Porno. They have a whole scene where the cast dances to the same exact DMX song. This movie can't help but plagiarize from other movies.
Hello, welcome. We successfully trapped a Class 3 vapor.
You're supposed to be professional scientists. Why would you need to impress some random guy? You don't owe anything to him.
You want to see it?
I would love to see it.
You really had to stoop down to his level, didn't you?
Casper?
And because you had to feed your ego to show off to some guy, he's dead. Now we're getting a scene where they're talking to the mayor, like in the first movie. But hey, this time the mayor is played by Andy Garcia. Someone got some extra budget money. We're trying to be a little bit political with the mayor trying to make them scapegoats. I'm really trying to be on your side because I do feel like representation matters. But you're really coming off as incompetent. And now they're connecting the dots of all the ghost locations.
Okay, that looks like it's got some merit.
Looks like an arrow. Hey, look, Chief, it's pointing right at this police station. Let's get out of here!
Okay, I'm calling this in.
And of course, everything leads to Manhattan. Ghosts just love being dramatic.
Hi, excuse me.
Hold on. What do you want?
She did the thing that's Ann Potts. She was Janine and she just said, "What do you want?" Just kind of like how she answered the call in the first movie, and it's all coming together. Cameos. They've discovered Rowan's plans of using all the ghosts that he has to take over the world because he's evil. I guess the problem fixed itself. And it turns out that the bad guy was using Yates and Gilbert's book for inspiration. Probably shouldn't have written out details like that, huh?
I just have to say a couple things to the press. You know how that goes. So we just are gonna fake arrest you now?
Okay, so I guess this tells the stereotype that women can't work together. Rowan is back as a ghost, and he's messing with the Georgia O'Keeffe machine. It's the PKE meter, but it's a labia machine.
Bobby.
Oh, and now Rowan has taken over Yates's body.
This is fun, right? Hi, Patty.
Please explain to me the science in that. I mean, yeah, it's a ghost possession, but if you're gonna possess a human body, you still have to kind of live to, like, the human's actual physics, right? And now Rowan has possession of Kevin. Look, if I can get my soul out of this body and possess a body like Chris Hemsworth, I would do the same.
You've shut down the power to the whole city. Don't you understand? He's using the power.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I think it's very important that you should listen to us because there are ghosts and they're about to take over the city. Maybe we should do something about it. See how normal that was to say that? You know, instead of acting like a friggin' goon. You know, it's a 2010s movie when the threat is a giant portal in the sky.
I don't go to Chinatown. I don't drive Wacos, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
And Dan Aykroyd himself as a cabbie. Thank you for your contribution. Enjoy that paycheck. Hey, we know who that is. That's Slimer. This time, the digital design of Slimer is really awful. I don't like the look of his face. Say you're sorry, movie. And now Slimer has Ecto-1.
Yo, was Thanksgiving like Halloween back in the 1920s? Because that's a creepy-ass Macy's parade.
See, this does work as a Thanksgiving movie because it's like a haunted Macy's Day Parade. What's next? It's going to release some toxic gas upon the citizens? And that's going to be our Stay Puft Marshmallow Man cameo as a friggin' balloon. Certified fresh, you guys. Certified fresh. And that Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was defeated with Aaron's Swiss Army knife, certified fresh.
Who's the flying beefcake?
Yes, we get it. Chris Hemsworth is hot. We all want to be Chris Hemsworth or be with him. We get it.
Guys, you all have your sidearms. I suggest you use them.
So as much shit-talking I've been doing in this film, I like to give credit where credit is due. And for this benefit, I actually enjoy them fighting the ghosts in this scene. And another compliment to this film is that at least it does a callback to the ghosts they previously dealt with that weren't captured. Like, for example, in the original Ghostbusters, we never really did see them capture the librarian ghost. Here, they actually do face up against the first ghost they encountered. Alright, forget about Fall Out Boy. I actually like this rhythm of the Ghostbusters theme song. And Holtzman really kicks ass with her double pistol lasers. That's what I'm talking about. They don't just have the same proton packs as the original Ghostbusters, they have new weapons. They're not exactly capturing ghosts, they're just obliterating them. Ah, and he finally released Kevin.
I'll come out wherever you are.
Okay, that was very good, Holtzman.
Nice and cute, like a friendly little ghost.
Oh, is this what you want? Something more familiar?
Oh, and now he's turned himself into a cartoon. Can't do Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They already destroyed him. So now he's the logo.
We need to reverse the portal. It's gonna take an insane amount of energy.
Well, gee, it's a good thing that your car is driving back. Oh, look, female Slimer. Okay, that's heartbreaking because that implies that Slimer was killed. Well, as much as a ghost can be killed. Still sad. And as the ghosts are being taken down, Rowan is fighting against it, but that's no problem for these Ghostbusters because they're gonna take down the Patriarch by blasting him in the ghost balls. So all's well that ends well. It seems like Rowan's being sent back to wherever it is ghosts are sent to. That is until he starts grabbing Abby. Okay, now this is another awesome scene. That is more personal than the first movie. This scene is very important where it solidifies the bond between Aaron Gilbert and Abby Yates. And I really do find this scene very touching. And Rowan, you sadistic son of a bitch. As he's falling to his doom, he is still smiling when he sees Aaron. The mayor's office is denying that ghosts happen in the same way as Ghostbusters 2 opens up as New York denies that they were attacked by Gozer's ghosts. So now Cecily Strong's character is back to inform them that the mayor's office is going to hire them full on and give them a budget so they can actually operate outside of the firehouse. You gotta appease the geeks sometimes.
Where is it?
Oh my gosh, it's Patty's uncle Ernie Hudson. He wants to know what happened to the other hearse. Yeah, all the other cast members of Ghostbusters were like, yeah, fine, we'll do this movie as cameos, whatever. We just need the paycheck. Ernie Hudson's attitude is, I'm down for whatever, baby. Yes, that's my Ernie Hudson impression. And now the movie is over. Now, in the original two movies, the credits start rolling while we're seeing some more of the film. How do they top it off here? There are little mid-credits.
Safety lights are for dudes. Safety lights are for dudes.
Oh, Sigourney Weaver is also in this movie as a mid-credit scene, sharing a joke against dudes. Take that, XY chromosome people. If you notice here, they call themselves Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Why? Well, because people tore this movie apart when it came out, or even before it came out, they decided to rebrand themselves as Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And on top of that, we get more dancing, because that's what this set of credits need. An extended scene of Chris Hemsworth dancing with the crowd. I can't believe I'm saying this, but can I just have a regular black screen with scrolling text for credits? I kind of missed that.
Yeah, I heard something really weird. What's Zool?
What is Zool? Well, we know because we saw the original movie, and it doesn't matter because there was no sequel after this. And why does the Ghostbuster franchise act like Zool is the only threat? I mean, we got Vigo, who was the bad guy in Ghostbusters. Yeah, okay. Zool was the scarier villain. So Ghostbusters answer the call. A budget of $144 million, and they earned back $229.4 million. Those are pretty good numbers. It doubled back their investment, but I guess for a Ghostbusters property, they were expecting more. So, addressing the elephant in the room, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's an all-female cast of Ghostbusters. It's just that you really want representation to matter. You have to represent all of it. They should have really gone by the extreme Ghostbusters route. This was a cartoon series that followed the real Ghostbusters cartoon, where in that cartoon, it featured 4 young college students, where in that series it actually had a Latin representation, a female representation, an African American representation, and even a representation of a man in a wheelchair. This movie was just more of a counter reaction to the original films, to the point where it's no longer trying to be diverse as much as trying to be the complete opposite of the original, to the point where it's almost like a huge critique of the original. But what do I know? I'm just saying what's off the top of my head. The actresses are funny in their own projects, and there's a reason why they lasted so long on Saturday Night Live, and also Melissa McCarthy hosting many episodes of SNL. And they have a right to be put on a big screen. It's just they were given a sloppy script. And I feel like if I keep talking, I'm just gonna be talking in circles. I'm just doing my best not to echo what the other reviewers have said, but instead give it my own spin. I love the Ghostbusters. Even in my collection, I have some of the female Ghostbusters as well. It's really nothing against the actresses, more against the writing and the production of this film. And also Fall Out Boy, what the hell is it with that music? Knock it off. I'm Anthonix Maximus. You know that. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell. And I hope you have yourself a happy Thanksgiving.
Please don't be like the mayor in Jaws.
And never compare me to the Jaws mayor. Never!